Hi, this is Jeff Blauette, Technical Agronomist for Cooperative Farmers Elevator. And on this week's Field Friday segment, we're kind of out here doing some research work on some foliar things on corn and soybeans with this little guy. You've seen him before in previous episodes in prior years, but this little guy is kind of what helps us do what we do on a small scale to work up towards things that might be applicable to big sprayers and mass acres. But we're out here testing some stuff today, some foliar items that, and this happens to be V4 corn. This is a little later planted. A lot of the corn around is probably past that, but there is some small stuff yet. But we're trying to do things at certain stages of growth, different stages of growth, depending on which product recommendations would actually give the product the best chance to succeed. There's various different things we're testing. We're also testing some things at various stages in soybeans. Matter of fact, we're doing a small bean trial today as well at this site. But a couple of things that we're working on, we're doing anything from different seed treatments to in-furrow to early growth stage, mid-growth stage, all the way up to tassel time. On corn, and kind of the same thing on beans, we're doing some different seed treatments. We actually even did some population things this year. Also, we'll be doing some earlier foliar, mid-foliar, and then the kind of the fungicide timing at the end. So those are all different things we're testing at various different times and certain years. But a few of the things that we're testing this year that are a little bit unique and something a little different, and we're actually using some of these products both in corn and soybeans, but there's some products that are designed either in furrow or foliar to make these plants more efficient with nitrogen. With the weather we've had the last couple years, we've had an awful lot of nitrogen issues. I think anything we can do to find other tools for nitrogen will be helpful. We haven't tested them really before. We're not sure what to expect, but we are evaluating some of those things that could be interesting. They're not going to replace the nitrogen that you put on the fields. You know, it's kind of like a better transmission in a new pickup. You got a 6-speed transmission versus a 4-speed. You might get a mile or two better fuel mileage and economy. That's the kind of thing we're hoping to do with some of these treatments, is maybe to find a way to make those plants more efficient and more able to take up nitrogen. It still has to be there to take up and so on, but those are some of the kind of things we're evaluating. We're testing some of the same things in soybeans, and again, soybeans nodulate their own nitrogen. We don't fertilize nitrogen on them, but there are times where we wonder if we're getting enough nitrogen in the plant at the right time. So if we can make that plant more efficient with the nitrogen it does take up, there might be some yield to be had there too. So we don't know what to expect specifically. The companies have some data that looks pretty solid, but we'll test it on our own in our own trade territory and see if it's something that might fit for, you know, for our acres in northwest Iowa and southwest Minnesota. So just kind of wanted to give you a little bit of a peek at what we do, how we do it. Trying to do things on small scale with small equipment to see if we can make some profit addition for the future, and some of the things we can maybe do to move forward going in as we work up that yield ladder and hopefully keep improving. So just thought we'd touch on that quick. That's kind of what we wanted to show you. So that's this week's Field Friday segment, and we'll see you next week.